Star Trek Lower Decks Review, Season 3, Episode 9. And we finally, the Chekhov's gun fires of the woman at the sort of kiosk next to them, talking about the independent archaeologists thing.
Yeah.
It's like, that thing was
Mhm.
planted a long time ago. Well, not that long
Yep.
ago, but it was planted well back there. And then it's like, oh, yeah. And yeah, I wasn't sure.
This should be a lesson learned. Never jump to conclusions.
Yeah, this was very
Yeah.
much a. I wasn't sure how they were gonna prove it wasn't like something was gonna happen that was going to sort of, exonerate Mariner, and it was just a matter of time at that point.
Yeah. Like, you knew she wasn't going to, fuck it up.
Yeah, she's the only one who didn't fuck it up.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And yet everybody else still blamed her.
Yep.
Though I would go back and see like how those people reacted to like her, like see if they had a different in the animation, if they had a different reaction than everybody else to what was being said about her. Also, Jenny's probably feeling like crap about now.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's like, hey, I'm sorry.
I don't blame her for running off, honestly.
Yeah, but
yeah,
You know she's probably gonna come back at some point.
oh yeah, there's gonna be
status
like
quo
some fight and she's
is
gonna
the
come and
is the
save the day.
koala.
Status quo, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
status
don't
quo is
blame
the koala.
running to run off because she tried her best. First of all, she was treated like shit from the very second they came on board. Like, no, Mariner. Like, I just want to tell everybody how great this ship is. And then when she finally does, everybody assumes she's the one talking shit.
Mm-hmm.
And she's the only one who didn't.
Yeah, it's like, it's like a family. You got like two families. Oh yeah, I got turned into a puppet.
Yeah.
Nobody judged me for it though, so it was nice. Yeah, and it's gonna. Episode 10 is probably going to be her, like, them running back into each other on a swing by or something.
Yeah. Or them, or her trying to. I haven't watched it, but
Surprising.
yeah, I haven't had time, bro. The only reason I watched this one is because I watched it last week. Because I forgot that we hadn't done the other one yet.
Yeah, so she's yeah, I just maybe she'll be disillusioned with the Independent Archaeologist League or something like.
No, I think what'll probably happen is she because the archaeologist is very it tends to be a little morally questionable, that Vash type.
Yeah.
But I think that's going to conflict with Mariner because Mariner acts morally corrupt, but she has a strong moral core, which we saw in this. She's very
she's chaotic, but she's chaotic good.
Yeah.
She's like an M&M. She has a hard outer shell, but inside she's just all soft and chewy.
Yeah, I would say yeah, she's chaotic. She doesn't follow the rules all the time.
She likes
but
being
she's
seen
chaotic good.
as she likes being seen that way, but she has rules. She follows.
Yeah, I was just talking about external rules. Like, she's got her
Yeah.
guiding principles, her internal guiding principles. But yeah, if you're talking about the rules
And
around her, she's
I
She's
have
very
a
chaotic.
feeling that
Yeah,
you know that the archaeologist is going to be pushing those morals a little too hard.
Yeah, that's what I was
Like,
going for with
we
disillusioned.
shouldn't we shouldn't be doing this. Like, oh, come on now, you don't have to worry about that. And it's like, but
I mean,
they're
she's
not
like,
even, it's like they're not even dead yet, or something like that.
Or she's gonna pull an Indiana Jones, and go, "It belongs in a museum."
I mean, she's like me. I mean, she's like me. It's like, I'll follow the rules, but if I find those rules stupid, I'm not going to follow them.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's got her own internal compass, but outwardly, like
If you're with
rules are only good as long as they follow that internal compass.
yeah,
If they line up,
Like-
great. I'll follow them. If they don't,
you're stopped at a stoplight and there's no cars around for miles because it's like 1 o'clock in the morning. Cross it, and you're walking. Cross the red light. Fuck it.
Now, one good thing did come from this episode, I have to admit. It's so good they canceled the pie eating contest.
what?
Blueberries are disgusting.
I like blueberry. I don't
Blasphemy.
think I've ever had blueberry pie, but I love blueberry yogurt.
No, it's either apple or strawberry rhubarb.
Ew.
Other pies are good too, but those are my two favorites.
Strawberry rhubarb is disgusting. The only pie I like is cherry pie.
Okay, cherry too. Cherry is also a pass. Oh wait, do you not like the
Oh,
strawberry or the rhubarb?
Heck, I don't like strawberry rhubarb.
Like together?
I don't like strawberries. I don't like rhubarb.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
Strawberries make me nauseous.
Interesting.
Except for strawberry jelly.
Even more interesting.
But no, like fresh strawberries make me nauseous.
Huh. But yes, cherry pie
Because-
too. Cherry pie's good.
Because when I was a kid, I had to go out while I was sick, like nauseous sick. So I had a bag of strawberries I was using to smell to cover up the smell of my sick, because I have a very sensitive sense of smell, and especially when I'm sick. Like when I'm sick, I smell everything.
You're like the opposite of everybody else. When they're sick, they can't smell shit.
No. I mean, like nauseous sick, like
Yeah.
throwing.
Ah.
But even when I have a cold, I end up smelling things. Wow.
I can't.
Which is really frustrating.
Although I do find it.
Coughing, and I don't often get a stuffy nose. It's usually just runny nose. But I still smell everything. It's disgusting.
I do find it funny. I starved myself for days for this.
Stun me.
It's like, I can't. That Outpost 80 or 50, whatever it's called.
Yeah, 80.
Wasn't it 88?
Starbase 80 or whatever it was.
Starbase 80.
Yeah.
God damn, what do they do? The sewage?
They probably are like either miners or a reclamation facility.
It's
Fun.
Yeah, it's definitely low stakes, whatever it is. It's a way of like, okay, well, I don't know how you got past the screening process, but you shouldn't have. And so now we're going to put you in a place where you can't hurt anything.
You go here. Oh, so new uh bad race of alien I've never heard of before.
What?
Oh, the
Whatever they
Breen?
were, the bring. I couldn't tell what
They're-
they're saying.
That's normal. That's what happens with the Breen. The Breen are from DS9.
Okay.
They have like their helmets always make that. That's how they talk to people.
Oh no, I meant like I can never tell what they're calling them. Like, are they calling them
Oh,
like
okay.
the bring, like BRING?
Breen.
Ah, okay.
Breen, like green but with a B.
Like what you use short for Sabrina.
Okay. They seem like nice people.
They're not. They really aren't.
So are they like the conquer or destroy all life kind of thing, or they assimilate?
Pretty much whatever works for them. Like, I think, like
They're like Klingons without honor.
Ah,
yeah, there's a lot of that. Yeah, they don't
It's
care.
just I like to kill things.
Yeah, they have no. They're amoral. It's like, does this help the Breen? Yes. Okay, we'll do it. Like, I don't care. Torture, that's fine. You know, whatever helps the Breen, that is what the Breen will do.
interesting.
Whatever makes the Breen advantages the Breen, I don't care.
Bring it on.
But
I wonder if they're gonna be like the final bad guys in the last episode.
the Breen in the episode 10,
Yeah.
they might bring them in as a sort of weaving all of this back together to tie a nice bow on the end of the season. Like the Breen will be involved in the whatever brings Mariner back, but they could be just left out there because the Breen are gonna Breen, and so you could have it that yeah, there's this conspiracy, but you kind of just leave it open and you say, okay, well, whatever they're doing, like you can cover it next season because it's the Breen are just they're around.
Yeah, they're just there.
Um,
So do we like just always see them with the helmets, or
yes, nobody's seen. I think nobody. The phrase nobody's seen a Breen without their helmet.
okay.
Like, and I think I don't know if this is extra canonical sources, but like it's a refrigerated suit, so they're cold. The suits are cold on the
Ice
inside.
Warriors.
But the thing is, like, I think they all wear the same outfit, but there's actually the Breen aren't one species, from what I understand. Like, it's a Breen sort of group.
Mandalorians.
I guess. But
Never take off their helmets.
Yeah.
Indiscriminate bounty hunters.
Yeah, I could see it.
I don't think they're necessarily bounty hunters. They're just like
Well, no, I'm describing the Mandalorians like that.
Rifles that shoot pew pew.
Yeah, rifles that pew pew.
Yeah, I'm looking up the Breen.
I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah. Inclusive, powerful, and warlike humanoid race renowned with the planet Breen in the Alpha Quadrant. Shrouded in mystery, the Breen were also one of the most underestimated races inhabiting this quadrant of space. There's privateers.
Yeah, Tendy would get along with them then. Kidding.
Breen,
They were pretty popular in DS9.
Yeah, it's basically basically one of the few places you actually see them,
Mhm.
considering the war and everything. But mm, yeah, again, they don't take prisoners.
They are mercenary species. See?
Yeah, yeah. See.
Similar to the Nausicaans.
Mm. Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, they're they're a nasty sort, and them showing up doing stuff is not, yeah. Again, it's a bit like the Nausicaans. If they show up, it's because they wanted to. they wanted to for money or power or some advantage that they didn't have before, and they don't really care. They're not really. They don't have a strong moral compass when it comes to prisoners or mercy or any of that. It's like, no, we're just going to kill you.
Interesting.
But
You know who else is an ass? Picard, apparently.
just left them. Though apparently they figured it out. Going cold turkey made
Oh,
them figure it out.
yeah,
There's some
but just
horrible
gotta,
mid times there, but
yeah.
they came
And
out of
hey,
it.
the
I mean, we
exercise
didn't check
quiets
out
the
their
voice.
government, so who knows what that was. But
That's true. But hey, the exercises quiet the voices.
yeah, which makes me wonder if, like, okay, you have this generation of these guys, like next generation will have been born without any of that material ever being in their system. So, like, will they just, they won't have the same problems as the as the older generation. They won't have the voices because they won't be as dependent on it.
The voices, Tammy. The voices. You must not listen to the voices. Boop. Oh, so I bet Dex is happy.
On what part?
Finally have a class of ship named after your state.
Oh, yeah, it's a bit like the California.
Although I
Small
thought,
towns.
honestly, no, I thought it'd be bigger.
Yeah, you'd think
That's what a lot of people say when talking about Dex.
Anyway, but yeah, you'd think that, like, if you pick, two places, California's got the the biggest population. It's third in size, but first in population. Alaska is what?
Seriously?
Yeah, California is like I think it's the most populated state,
Oh shit.
but they're the third largest because I think Texas is two on both. It's second most populous and second largest. Alaska being number one.
Yeah, Alaska's like
Alaska's
twice the size.
massive. Alaska's just ridiculous. But yeah, Alaska's massive, but there's nobody there
I
comparatively.
mean, the only reason I'm surprised that California is the most populated is because, goddamn, is it expensive?
Yeah, that's why it's expensive. There's a lot of people, and the housing market's really tight.
Man, I thought Texas would beat it out with its sheer size.
Population, yeah, but there's like you've got the eastern part where you've got you know you've DFW, Houston, Austin, San Antonio, Houston. I think I said Houston, but place there. But you have that sort of area that has those big major metropolitan areas, and a lot of the population is there. But as you go west, you start hitting this really flat land. There's just not a lot of people out there, especially in the Panhandle. There's just not a lot of people out there. There's just not a lot out there. It's very
Fair
sparsely
enough.
populated, and so like yeah, there's Texas is big, but like the most of the population is in that DFW, Austin, Houston, San Antonio sort of thing. It's all in that sort of area.
Fair enough. For a moment, I thought Mariner was flying that ship.
I mean, it makes sense.
somebody pulled her off the when they saw her get transferred out. They're like, you know what? Let's put her in charge of that. No, whatever.
But honestly, who doesn't see a rogue AI situation coming on with those Texas class?
Yeah, that's happening at some
Yeah,
point.
it's kind of obvious.
Maybe the Texas class is the bad guy for for the last episode.
Yeah, I don't know. It feels like it would need more of a build up.
Yeah, that might be a plant for like they'll introduce it now, and it's not a big deal if they never bring it back. If say there is another season coming, we know that. I seem we're hearing there's another season coming, but there probably is. I think Lower Decks is doing well enough. There'll probably be another season.
Yeah,
but they can set up that for next season. If they ended it at the end of this season, assuming they get back to status quo in episode 10, like they can do whatever the hell they want in the next one. They set up the Breen are hanging about. They can deal with the Breen. They still have the Packlids hanging about, so they can always show up as doing something. And then you have this drone ship. They can either handle it in episode 10 and pack that episode real tight, or they can leave it and use it as setup for next season. Like, then they have the Breen and the Texas class and all that, so they can work with that next season. I assume Mariner's coming back on ship, in episode 10, because that seems like you probably want to wrap up you might want to wrap the season up with that, to return sort of a status quo, but that's not necessarily. They could have her spend an episode just out with that, and then end the season on a cliffhanger of when will she be back, and then like first episode of the next season, there's a thing, she comes back.
Amazing.
There's no telling.
Let's see. What else? I mean, there wasn't really any side stories to this.
Yeah. I mean, the side stories, I guess, were the stories that the other people were telling.
Yeah.
In a way. Like all the crap that wasn't going on.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it was just straight through. Except, I'm glad that guy found his sandwich.
Yeah. Oof. I can't believe he ate it.
Hey, Never waste good food.
And and it just, I'm just curious what, like, okay, so on the Cerritos, like, Mariner is surrounded by, her friends are pretty competent. Like, you don't have to
Yeah.
worry about Tendi or Boimler or, can I remember his name?
Me neither. Only one I
Uh,
can't remember.
like Sam or whatever his name. Anyway, that's gonna drive me nuts. Anyway, because anyway, her friends are all competent. They're all very competent Starfleet officers. A little weird, but very competent. Like, what happens when you send somebody who has her own moral strong internal compass, but doesn't really have a lot of respect for rules that don't line up with that, and is also fairly competent? Like, Mariner's not, it's not like she doesn't know what she's doing. Like, within her purview, when the stuff she's supposed to know how to do, she's very good at what she does. So you stick her in uh Starbase 80 with presumably a lot of incompetent people. Does she just go through and just like she become really irritated? Like, why are you so incompetent? Why can't you do anything? And then she just took one look at how incompetent and how gross everything was, and it was just like,
Nope.
nope. Because I could imagine she's just like, it would be hell. Because she's just like, I know how to do this, but these people are morons. Like, whenever I work on something, it works. But then, like, a day later, some idiot comes along, oh, this needed to be worked on. Yeah, I checked it off yesterday. Oh, well, I fixed it anyway. You didn't do a good enough job. And it's just...
God, I have people at work like that, and it's so annoying. It's like, dude, I got it working perfectly to the exact specific... What?
Yeah, and then when they fixed it, it's actually doing, like... It was at 100% efficiency when she left it, and now it's at like 25. It's like, it works. It works like it used to. It's supposed to make that noise. It's like, no, it's not. That's not how
You mean like the TARDIS? The TARDIS is break.
It's like, it's not supposed to make that sound. You didn't make the sound. Yeah, because you leave the brakes on.
Like, wait, the TARDIS says brakes?
Well, you leave them on, so they must.
Which makes me think, so when's the last time he's had those brakes changed?
Well, it's an organic. The TARDIS is, I mean, it looks like machinery, but it's an organic being, so... Yeah, she's an organic being, so, it's not, there are parts that you can fix, like the chameleon circuit, but I think that mostly is the TARDIS breaking herself because she likes being the blue box.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's only been fixed, like, since the first Doctor, like, it got fixed once. I think in the sixth, fixed it for a short amount of time, and then it went right back.
Yeah, that it turned into a organ, I think, like, piano type thing with the like pipe organ.
Oh, thank God.
No, it wasn't a giant beating heart or something.
I was thinking spleen, but okay.
But yeah, like,
hearts are more fun to rip out.
True.
But yeah, the TARDIS likes being the blue box. I mean, when we listen to her when the Doctor gets to actually talk to the TARDIS, Like, it's like, oh, you thought you stole me? No, no, no! I stole you. I stole a Time Lord so I could go out.
And I was like, screw this place, I'm out of here.
Yeah, it was a museum piece, wasn't it?
No,
Or
well, he's it was in this it was kind of like headed to the scrapyard type thing.
yeah, it was that sort of thing that the Type 40s were not they
Obsolete
yeah.
even when he stole them.
Yeah, so like she could see the writing on the wall that this was going to be the end of her adventures, and then the Doctor wanted to go on adventures, so she stole the Doctor. And that's kind of where that's kind of where it's gone from there. Like the first adventure, like the chameleon circuit, the first adventure we see, the chameleon circuit breaks. And I think it's the first. Was it the first episode that the chameleon circuit breaks, or was that down the line? It's one of the early
No,
ones.
it's already broken.
It's already broken by the time we meet the first. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know it's
because
basically as it starts,
yeah.
the chameleon circuit is broken. And he just doesn't bother trying to fix it until the sixth Doctor. And even then, like, that doesn't last long. And it breaks again, and then the Doctor just doesn't bother trying to fix it again.
It's like, eh.
Well, he likes the blue box, and the TARDIS likes being the blue box, so if everybody's happy, meh.
I kind of want to see how that happened, though. It's like they come to Earth for the first time, the TARDIS sees the police box right next to it. It's like, ooh, I like that. Zoop.
But yeah, but we are setting up for the season finale.
Yes. I guess nothing really more of this episode is there. Got rid of that disgusting blueberry pie, but yeah.
Blasphemy.
Mm-hmm.
But
At least it's not strawberry pie.
well, the thing is, like, you'd think though, you know, if you, even if you got rid of the pie eating contest, like, it seems like that would be a waste of replicator energy. I know you got a lot because it's a warp core and it produces more energy than, you know, you can use most times. But like, that seems very wasteful to just dump it and have it, you know, put back in sort of the material pool.
Yeah.
Like, we could just, you know, you could just put that in the mess hall and just have people eat a lot of pie.
I mean, well, serve it, yeah.
I mean, hey, the lesson to be learned is when you try to hide what your crew is actually like, it tends to come out to the open in the worst possible way.
Well, that's pretty much every story that does this. Like pretty much every show that has this sort of setup where it's a workplace and then there's a larger corporate entity above, you know, a larger entity, either corporate or organizational or whatever, comes down for an inspection or a visit, and they're like, we sweep everything under the rug, make everything look good, spick and span, and, you know, it eventually just falls out, and like everything starts, you're trying to tuck everything in, and it just sort of falls out.
Yeah.
Which I imagine if you do that sort of inspection on a regular basis, you instantly know it's like, no, they cleaned this up. This has been sanitized for my benefit. It's like, okay, just wait, they'll screw up. Like, you can't.
Yeah, but I mean, most places are like that. Yeah. Like, whenever we have a visit, it's like, quick, clean the entire store. It's like, how am I expected to do that? Just myself, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, because you can't you can't really hide like your normal tendencies because you'll fall back into them, or the evidence will rise to the top. But if you're, you know, if you're doing your job anyway and everything's working, like, um, I still like Win Amiga as because that sounds like I, Amigo is like Buen Amigo. Was Buen Amigo or Buen Amiga? I think my Spanish is not great, but Bueno is good, and Amigo is Amigo, Amiga is female, Amigo is male, like Latino and Latino. I think I could be wrong. Spanish speakers. So it basically becomes Good Friend. His name is basically Good Friend.
Good friend.
And he's so chipper and cheerful and nice generally. But it's just like, okay.
Nice.
I mean, he has a freaking. I think he has a freaking model of the Alamo back there too. I'd have to go look at the screenshot, but I think he had a model of the Alamo behind him too. But
So, anything left to say about this episode?
whack.
Quack. And you, Doc?
No.
Well, that is the end of this episode.
The majestic space duck.